Hey nerds, welcome to another random live thing. Today, this is happening because I'm in that weird place of the book launch scramble where the book is coming out soon, and there's a lull between like all of the activity of like writing the book and editing and finishing it and getting it ready to launch. And then actually like the launch is like there, everything has been finished. The book is done. I can't do anything else to it aside from, market the crap out of it. And that's what I've been doing. But since I'm not like actively working on, I guess I am actively working on things, but I'm not in the writing trenches right now. So there's a weird lull where I'm trying to maintain like all the momentum of getting this book out there into the world. But at the same time, like most of me just wants to play Red Dead Redemption for like 8 hours a day because that's what I would rather do right now. Hey girl, welcome. Yeah, so it's that weird spot. Like there's all of the madness of getting the book to launch, and you're trying to like maintain a presence everywhere on Instagram and Twitter and on Facebook and putting out ads and telling people that your book is coming. And like, there's literally no rest for the weary, right? But I should remind you guys, like, because I did not have the energy to record something in advance and then like prep it and edit it and make it look pretty, you're probably going to hear or see my children or my husband or my dog or all three. It's going to happen at some point. So just be prepared for that. Anyway, yeah. So because of all of the stuff that goes into the book launch, this burnout happens like right before the launch, like in that 2-week period or so, when you're about to do the heaviest marketing right before the book actually launches. And like literally all I want to do is sleep. I try to go to bed at a good time. I try to read. Zelda. Yes. Okay. Zelda's my favorite. And when the sequel to Breath of the Wild comes out, I will be on that. You probably won't hear from me for like a month. And I know that that's in preparation because my kid is a gamer and he tells me all of the stuff. So like, yeah, once that happens, I'm going to disappear from the face of the earth and just live, in Hyrule for a while. But in the meantime, my brother told me that Red Dead was the place to be. So we got it. And I have now been sucked into the world of Arthur Morgan. I'm living his life right now. My favorite thing about the game, though, is that you can pet all the dogs. So like anytime a dog comes around, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to pet all the dogs after I rob this stagecoach. So yeah. I would rather be doing that. I know probably you've heard me say before that I absolutely detest marketing. I hate it. So I would rather be playing games and sleeping. That's like where my life should be right now. But since I'm in that weird place, toward the end of the week was rolling around and I'm getting my kids ready for school and, signing them up and everything. And I was just like, God, I did not have the energy to record a video. And I have a couple great things I really want to get out for you guys. Some stuff around more editing tips, mostly that have to do with like using, really powerful verbs and being able to alter your sentence structure for flow and all of that kind of stuff. But that takes some like mental capacity that I just don't have right now. So yeah, that's where my life is at. And in the wake of all of that stuff, I'm also, now that book 2 has finished, I've already designed the cover for book 3 because the idea went bing and I was like, oh, so did that, have that. And now I'm feeling the pressure to like at least get it plotted. So I have, let's check out my cool shirt though. I just noticed how awesome it looks on camera. Bing! Khazad-dûm Miners Club. If you don't have a best friend who will buy you like awesome fandom related shirts, get one of those because this is my favorite thing ever. Anyway, so yeah, so plotting the book, right? I am a pantser by nature. I mean, my natural inclination is to like have a general idea and kind of know where the story is going and then just go with it. And I feel like the awesome thing about that is that most of the plotting and the character arcs and that kind of stuff comes from the characters themselves as the story is happening. And it's cool because you get to experience it and then you surprise yourself sometimes because plot issues will come up, or things will end up coming full circle, or you'll come across something that you didn't even realize that you plotted into the book beforehand, and you'd be like, what? How did I even think of that? And so all of that is super duper cool. But I've written 2 really big books. They are 130,000 plus words a piece. So we're talking 400 and some odd pages. You can see them back there. So they're big, they're good sized books. And that means that there's like a lot of plot happening and a lot of different intertwining threads. So by the time book 3 comes around, I have 260,000 words that I somehow have to tie up neatly with a little bow on top. So keeping track of all of those plot points that like have to be concluded, and all of the different things that have been set up that have to come to fruition, all of the endings that characters deserve have to happen. And so I thought this time, like, maybe I would do some plotting, and not really having done that before, I didn't have any good structure to work off of. So after searching around a little bit, I came across a couple of things that I thought might work, because they weren't so structured that maybe I would trip over all of the confinement, but also gave me enough of a guideline so that I know where I'm going. At least that's what I thought. So the first thing that I found is this story structure, this story circle. I've heard it called a plot embryo as well. I believe Dan Harmon is the one who originally kind of came up with this. But the basic idea is that on the inside, you have where the character starts in some form of ignorance. And that is, 1 through, is it 1 through 4? About 1 through 4. So kind of this side of the dividing line, right? The character starts in some form of ignorance. And then on this other half of the circle is where the character ends up wiser. And then that kind of takes up the overarching theme for this half of the circle, right? And the character starts in section 1. And that's this little thin piece in here that you can see. And this part is the familiar. So that would be, their regular life, or just the humdrum of every day. And then this bottom half is when they actually enter the meat of the story. So the unfamiliar, all of this ties back into the monomyth, A Hero with 1,000 Faces. Look that up. If you're a storyteller, it's great fodder. Anyway, and then each section kind of hits a point. So, normal guy, something is wrong, doesn't know what, heads off, on the adventure, finds the thing they're looking for, pays a price for it, is reborn, and comes back to their normal life. So that thing kind of, gives an overall structure to work off of. But what I discovered is, while this is super awesome, and I think I may use this general thing to get the overarching plot of the next book that I write, not book 3, but the next book after that. The thing that it lacks is that when you're working on a 3rd book and you have all of these plot points to tie up, like I mentioned, you don't have any way to keep track of all of those. So, if you've read the first book, there's a lot of things that happen that some of them get tied up in book 2, and others just get expanded upon so that you realize, things go deeper than you thought. And then there are some things in book 1 that haven't even actually come to fruition yet. So I have to keep track of all that stuff. And this awesome little dude, even though it's super cool, does not give me the ability to do that. So I'm going to have to come up with some other way to keep track of all of those things. And, like I have little the cards, and like I'm trying to keep all of those informations straight. Like I've got all the plot points written that have to be resolved. And man, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, you want a guideline, right? Like you want to know where your story is going. But when you start to feel confined, it almost feels like it's squishing your creativity and that ability to vicariously experience the story, I guess, which is like the best part. So I like this thing, but I'm kind of feeling like for book 3, where I already have an arc that started all the way in book 1, and not that the story can't have its own arc, but it's going to be a lot harder with this small thing to kind of expound everything that I need to keep track of in my head. So I actually did give Scrivener a try as well. And I think that it's really super helpful in that I can put together, you know, an overarching idea for the chapter, hit the points, you know, basically use, you know, one of these little cards, one of these little guys. They have them in Scrivener, and you keep, you know, track, so you can put your bullet points on there. And so each chapter will have the bullet point. And I think that may end up where I need to be to actually get this book written, because I already kind of know where everything is going, but keeping track of all the plot points and making sure that I hit that stuff is going to be the tricky part. So yeah, that's where everything is at right now, kind of sitting in weird in between land where I'm marketing all the time, and but also like you can't really take time off because your book is launching, but at the same time I really would like to, because I am exhausted. So yeah, I think I may just disappear into video games or something. I don't know, but I can't because marketing. So yay. I didn't realize that my little pop filter was like showing up on the camera. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I got. I am going to be getting into some more editing tips for the next couple of videos. I do have a couple more giveaways that I want to do. Awesome digital art that Bryce created for book 2 with some of the cool landscapes that are there. I'm also designing some more, where am I from? I'm also designing some more characters, and I'll be releasing those, hopefully the digital art for those soon as well. The sequel is harder, yeah. There's a lot more pressure with it, especially because people already have expectations and you don't know if you're gonna hit them or not, especially when you feel like you're definitely gonna bum some people out. I mean, I worked really hard to make sure that you ended up with some kind of fulfilling emotional resonance, I guess, in there. But some of the stuff, the characters are having a lot worse time. They're a lot worse off. Things are a lot harder for them in book 2. And, you know, you kind of have to ratchet up everything even just a little bit more for book 3. So it's going to be an experience for sure. Yeah. Ooh, that's a lot of stuff. So Founding Lie, the second book. Oh, I have a cool story, by the way. I was about to tell you that it launches, but I do have a cool story. So I have a 6-year-old, and I was sitting here as I was designing the jacket for the hardcover of book 2. I wanted to put the name of all the books in the trilogy inside there so people could, you know, look forward to the next one, keep track of everything. And I have a theme already going for the book. So the first book is The Laws of Founding. The second book is The Founding Lie. And I was struggling over the name of the book, trying to figure out what it was going to be and testing out a bunch of stuff. And I'm sitting here at my desk where I'm at right now, just quietly thinking to myself. And my 6-year-old walks over and looks at me, and then he goes, "Hey, Mama, how about you call your next book The Founding War?" And I was like, what just happened? Because obviously I didn't say anything to anybody. And the kid just came up with that sucker out of nowhere. And the fact that it also is actually going to work, like, guys, that is now the title for book 3. It is The Founding War. My 6-year-old named the book. So that was really crazy. I still feel like something happened there. Like, why would he just randomly come up to me and tell me what I should call my book? I didn't even say anything to him about it. So, hey girl, Lauren is here too. Give some love to my peoples. Yeah, so really crazy that he did that. I didn't expect it to happen at all. And now it's kind of a cool thing that the book gets to take on, the fact that my 6-year-old named it out of nowhere. And then he saw me designing the book cover last night, and he goes, "You should thank me for that, because I gave you the new book." I was like, "I do thank you, buddy. I do thank you." And I had to hug him. So he was pretty proud of himself. And of course, then my middle one was like, you need to write a fourth book so I can name that one. And I was like, oh, no, what has happened? Now I'm just kind of have to write books so that my kids can feel good about themselves for naming them. Yeah. So anyway, no, I'm not going to break your heart. I mean, I might. I hope not. I will say that I'm a fan of happy endings, but bittersweet endings are better. So you can take from that what you will. We'll see how it goes, how it turns out. I know what's going to happen. It's going to be some interesting things. Anyway, yeah, so plotting, we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys updated on that because who knows what that's going to turn into. If I like completely trip and fall on my face, I'll let you guys know. And hopefully I'll be able to tell you why I failed as well. And if I do fail, then that means I'm basically going to end up like I did with the last book, like 3/4 of the way through, stuck in some plot hole that I can't fix and like hiking in the mountains, repeating everything over and over to myself until the answer, just shows up. So hopefully not. That, I'm telling you, yeah, he could have, or he could have been like my kid from another dimension. I don't even know. Girl, your book name is already awesome. I love your book name. Also have some feedback for you. The 16-year-old has finished doing the beta for the first 2. So I'm going to be sending you a message, Miss Lauren. Lauren's book, people, you'll have to keep an eye out for it. Go check out her channel. Yeah. Anyways, guys, so nothing big for today, just kind of those updates and letting you know that, my brain is fried. So next week I will be having the editing tips, some more editing tips, and hopefully a couple more fun stuff, giveaways and all that. So keep an eye out. The Laws of Founding launches August 16th. The hardback is available through Amazon as well. Paperbacks, for some reason, nobody does pre-sales for those unless you go traditional with that kind of stuff. So you cannot get the paperback in advance. But if you do buy an advanced copy of pre-order the hardback or the ebook, which just about anywhere you can find, Apple, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, whatever, you can order from there. If you decide to pre-order the book, make sure you take a screenshot of your receipt and email it to me at NicoleMcEwenAuthor@gmail.com and show me that. And if you live in the continental United States and you want me to send you an additional goodie, then give me your shipping address as well, and I will send you something. It could be, I think I have some with me, actually. Could be some of these cool keychains. Oops, the book cover is in here. It could be have bookmarks back there. It could be a signed copy of the book. Could be a book tote. Could be a copy of some digital art or character art. You just never know. So, but everybody who pre-orders the book will get the first 5 chapters of the ebook. I'm going to send them to you. So that's true. If I break the hearts, then hopefully I heal them as well. I prefer that anyway. I hate ending a book and being like, why did I just waste 5 years of my life on this series? So I will not do that to people. I will at least say that. So yeah, keep an eye out. Get the book if you're interested, and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share the video, let people know that the book is out there. You can help me sell my book if you just tell people that it exists. So yeah, there's romance, there's fighting, there's science, there's multiple worlds. Hi, Sarah. Yeah, there's some crazy kind of fun. I have simplified the physics a little bit, but there's cool physics. Speaking of physics, I'm currently rereading Reality Is Not What It Seems by Carlo Rovelli, The Journey to Quantum Gravity. If you have any interest in science at all, read that freaking book. It is so super cool. It takes you all the way from ancient Greece, happening in Miletus, Democritus and his idea of the atom, all the way through to where we're at now, our understanding of reality, all of that stuff. It's super flipping cool. And some of that plays into the dynamics of the way my walkers travel between worlds. So yeah, that is, read that book and read my book. Buy my book and read my book. You will love it. And you can tell me what you think of it. And if you hated it, you can even tell me that. I'll take that too. So yeah, All right, guys, thank you so much for showing up. I'm so glad I got to talk to you guys, even in my little sidebar. Don't be scared, Lauren. It's all super, super good feedback. The kid, I was thinking like the kid should just be a beta reader because he gave some really great feedback, and it figures because he's, you know, he's a pretty serious reader. So don't be scared. It's going to be good. It's going to be helpful. Yeah, thanks for showing up. Thanks for hanging out with me. Trope Trinity Trilogy, Lauren and Sarah, I'm super excited that you guys stopped in to say hi. I usually never stay on live this long because I'm like, no, somebody's going to show up and I'm going to sound like a fool and I'll be super embarrassed. But whatever, like, here I am. So thanks for hanging out. And the next video will be on Tuesday. It will be Tuesdays and Fridays up until the week of the 16th. That will be a video every single day just to get everybody hyped up for the book launch. So be on the lookout for that. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Make sure in the comments you let me know what you're working on so I can come support you in that. If you're writing a book or you're marketing one or you're trying to plot or whatever you're doing, let me know so I can show you guys some support too. So thanks again, and I will see you on Tuesday. And until Tuesday, be wonderful.